Task Force to order. I need to say at the beginning that I'm having some technical difficulties, so I can't see anything. So I'm going to have to, whenever a motion is made or anything, please identify yourself because I can't see you to call on you. And if I can't see the chat, I'll ask Randy to let me know if somebody needs to ask a question. Sorry about that, but we're changing some internet issues here in my house and we're having all sorts of difficulty. Motion would be in order to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved, Melissa Rooker.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. Seconded
Bert
by?
seconds.
Okay.
Bert Lewis.
Now, somebody that can see needs to tell me whether or not this passes. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Looks unanimous, Mr. Porter.
Motion would be in order to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
So moved, Melissa Rooker.
Thank you, Melissa.
Seconded by Bert
Thank
Lewis.
you. Thank you. We'll just make that a pattern. So all in favor, please raise your hand.
Looks unanimous again.
Thank you so much. Doug, is it you?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this meeting, we've got 46 different districts that have submitted their ESSER 3 plans. Those 46, all of them are either using up what's remaining of their allocation or they have come in under budget on some items. And so they've added a few things, but the net change is zero. All those plans have a total value of 131 million. The net changes will be about $8 million. So as we move through them, we've got Rollins, Piper, Yucatan, and Northern Valley. They're all using up the rest of their allocations. Rollins for salaries and some hardware, Piper for some salaries, Yucatan adding to their math curriculum. Northern Valley just had a little bit that they have added on to some salaries. Then the next page. Ashland, Olathe, Girard, and Pittsburgh. Olathe, Girard, and Pittsburgh are using the rest of theirs up. You can see that Olathe had a whole $1 that they needed to account for, and so that's accounted for this time. Girard for some salaries, Pittsburgh adding to their curriculum, some supplemental materials, as well as some curriculum for all. Emporia, Marmaton, and Stockton, they're all using up the rest of theirs. Emporia, because they are a larger district with more funds, they can take some indirect cost for administering the program. Marmaton for curriculum, Stockton salaries and summer learning, and then Oakley had some extra money that they put towards some retention pay, but no net change there. Lincoln, Ness City, El Saline, and Nickerson are all using up the rest of theirs. Lincoln for an HVAC project, finishing up that. It came in a little bit over budget, I believe. Ness City putting theirs towards their summer learning program, El Saline premium pay, and then Nickerson, with the little bit of money they had left, we had approved a bus. And it came in over cost, and so they applied a little bit more money towards the purchase of that bus. Then on this page, Fairfield and Kingman, they're using up the rest of theirs. Fairfield summer learning, and then Kingman for some hardware and PD. And then Ellsworth and McLeod, just moving some money around for some extra curriculum and software. And then all of these, Kinsley, Chaparral, Newton, and Sublette are using up the rest of theirs. Kinsley added theirs to an intervention curriculum, Chaparral for some salaries, Newton PD, Sublette salaries and their summer programming. And then Pratt, Rose Hill, and Douglas are using up the rest of theirs. Pratt was finishing up an HVAC project, Rose Hill, curriculum and salaries, Douglas, some assessment tools and curriculum. And then Andover was just using that extra money for curriculum and salaries. No net change. Smoky Hill and Chase Raymond, they're using up the rest of theirs. Chase Raymond had some furniture and then some salaries that they were purchasing with theirs. Smoky Hill was using theirs for retention pay. Then Hillsborough, salaries and CTE equipment, and Hoxie salaries, but no net changes on those two. They'd already accounted for everything, just came in under budget. Hiawatha, and Auburn Washburn use up the rest of theirs. Hiawatha for some cleaning supplies, Auburn Washburn salaries, and then Mound Ridge and Dodge City had a little extra money that they put towards salaries. Dodge City's actually goes towards some of their special ed staff that hadn't gotten the retention pay earlier, and so they're taking care of them with that money. And then all of these, Coffeyville, Leavenworth, Garden City, and Arc City, they're all using up the rest of theirs. Coffeyville, what little they had, they put towards curriculum and PD. Leavenworth are buying some new tech, putting it towards curriculum and salaries. Garden City, salaries in their after-school program, and then Arc City for salaries and assessment programs. Then Gary County and Rural Vista just had a little bit of room after buying everything that had been approved, and so they put some of theirs towards teacher training and Rural Vista towards salaries and summer learning. Eudora and Columbus use up the rest of theirs. Eudora's putting a chunk towards summer learning and Columbus for PD. And then the last two use up the rest of theirs, Fort Larned and Valley Heights. Fort Larned for PD and salaries, and then Valley Heights a little bit towards salaries. So the net change then, was $8 million. And then as you look at how the money's been used, we're still sitting at about 78.5% going towards that teaching and learning. If everything's approved today, that leaves us with $8.5 million that still needs to be earmarked. And we've kind of broken that down. Where's that 8.5 million at? 8.45 million is Kansas City. There's the total left is a little over 8.5 million. And the figures that you see here, there's probably some rounding, so everything's not gonna quite add up if you try to do it quickly. But Kansas City, if you remember the last time, they had everything spoken for, and then they had changed their mind and brought an item to us that we did not think was allowable at the last task force meeting. So they still have that money. And then Casey, Riverton, Holton, Marysville, and Augusta, that's a bulk of the funds are in those 5 districts. All 5 have resubmitted, so we do have them under review, so we're not too worried about them. The last 7 have between $1 and $5,000 left, and it's actually $3,580 that is spread between those 7. So we're really close to having all this money taken care of. Melissa.
Doug, I just wanted to be reminded how much longer they have to spend these funds.
they have to be obligated by September 30th. They need to be liquidated by December 31st.
Thank you.
So does that mean that our next meeting in August will probably be our last one?
That is our hope at this time, that by the time August rolls around, all 12 of these will have submitted and will be ready to go. Like I said, the four with the most money, up there at the top, Riverton, Holton, Marysville, Augusta, and KCK, they've all submitted and we are reviewing those now. So just a matter of making phone calls and getting the other 7 to get theirs submitted. So we hope August might be the last time we need to meet.
I know that'll be a disappointment to everybody. Any other questions? And since
I don't have a
can't-
question, but
Go
a
ahead.
comment. Yeah, I just had a comment. I want to comment on the KST staff for those reports, especially this last one showing the districts that are left. It was really impressive. Thank you for all that. In case I have to miss August, I didn't want to miss the opportunity to say that in front of the team, but that's really impressive. So thanks to Doug and Tate, and I'm sure there's others involved. I'm sorry I missed any names, but very impressive.
Angela and Renee are doing the heavy lift and they should certainly be called out for that. They're the ones making the phone calls and sending the emails daily to get people to get their stuff in.
And I want to echo what Jamie just said. We really appreciate the hard work. And I need to remind everybody that this was not the job they were hired to do. This is an add-on. And we really appreciate taking it so seriously. Anything else? Any other questions, comments?
This is Senator Petty. And, excuse me, a comment was made, sorry, I just swallowed something, went down the wrong pipe, about August being the last meeting, but if the money needs to be expended by December, would we have another meeting just to know if money had not been expended?
We certainly can, we'll advise that. And if we need to, we certainly can have another meeting after that because we need to have a final report.
Thank you.
And we do have the quarterly reports that are published that show how the money is actually being spent. These are just the plans for it. And then the quarterly reports that come out show the actual expenditures. And so that could be part of it too.
Yeah, let's go ahead and sometimes it's so much easier to meet like this where you can actually ask questions. So in fact, at the end, whenever it's all done, let's do have one final meeting so we can have a final in-person report. If there are no other questions, a motion would be in order to approve the recommendations as presented.
Mr. Chairman, this is Bert Lewis, and I move to accept the report as reported.
I hate the fact that people have followed them.
This is
Thank-
Nick Campione. I second it.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Bert.
GameStop dropped 90%,
All-
AMC
are
dropped
there
99%
comments?
because that's where the stock should eventually go.
All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Somebody tell me what happened.
Looks pretty good. Well, for the yes votes.
Thank you. That motion carries then. Anything else?
I don't think we as a team have anything unless Randy has something to add.
I do not, and I don't see anyone's hand up, Mr. Porter.
I believe our next meeting is August the 9th, which is Friday before the August board meeting. I want to thank everybody for participating in this. It's been a long process, and I know it takes time, and it takes time to read all that, but I appreciate everybody's dedication. Look forward to seeing you in a couple of months. We are adjourned.